My 41M wife, 41F, took off her wedding ring after 11 plus years. After 11 years of marriage and 3 young kids together, my wife took off her wedding ring. She is in sales, so appearance matters. I don't wear mine all the time, but I always put it on when I go out. I take my wedding vows very seriously. I would never cheat. I know what it feels like to be cheated on. When I asked her why she isn't wearing it anymore, she said she took it off while cleaning about a month ago. I asked her if it felt weird to not have it on for the first time in 12 years, and she said it did. I trust her 99% that she is not cheating or trying to. I made the decision to follow her lead and have not been wearing mine for the past couple weeks. To my surprise, I have been getting hit on. One example is when the other day I stopped at a bar, as I have done hundreds of times. Normally with a wedding ring on. And without any engagement, a woman bought me a drink. I told her in a roundabout way that I was married with 3 young kids, and she spent the rest of the time apologizing for hitting on me. So I tipped her bartender friend 300% and dipped out. Do I tell my wife, or would that be a bad idea? Should I put the ring back on? To be honest, it has really reset my confidence the way quarterly sex with my wife used to, and I need that for my mental health. I love my wife to death, but things have not been good between us after moving 2,800 miles to her hometown where I don't know anyone. I have been trying to treat her in a way that makes her want to love me again, but things just seem to be getting worse. I am getting tired. Please be kind with your comments. I'm just a guy, husband, father trying to figure things out. Quarterly sex? You want her to love you again? I think there are bigger issues here that you aren't detailing. Leaving off her wedding ring is definitely not a good thing. And neither is you gaining confidence from interest you're receiving outside of the marriage. Are you too happy? What's the deal? What caused this? I have been trying to treat her in a way that makes her want to love me again, but things just seem to be getting worse. I am getting tired. Both of you put your rings back on. All it takes is one person to destroy what you have built for 12 years. Her taking off the ring is a symptom. You gotta work on curing the cause. After reading your comments, there's a whole lot more going on in your relationship than just taking off wedding rings. You and your wife need to have a serious sit-down discussion about your relationship. Definitely couples therapy, if you're up for it. Things seem to have been going down the wrong path for quite some time. I wish you luck and happiness. Up. This whole leaving the wedding bands off sounds like a recipe for disaster, and I don't buy a single bit that she took it off to clean and had forgotten to put them back on for a whole month. After 11 years of that never having been a thing. Seems like you're leaving a lot out of this story. I've been my wife 31 years and married for 26. I wore my ring for years until I nearly lost my finger when my ring got caught. I haven't worn it in probably 18 or 19 years. I'm still just as married as I was when I wore the ring. I don't go to bars alone to get hit on and tip someone 300% to prove a point. If you're here asking Reddit if you should tell your wife something, then you already know what you did was wrong and she'd have a problem with it. Ring or no ring, if women want to hit on you, they will. I have a hard time believing you went one time WOA ring and was hit on, etc. There's something not being said that would tie all this together. Sounds like y'all are both wanting out of the marriage, but both of y'all are too mentally weak to communicate. Your kids are suffering in this loveless marriage and will model their own relationships in the same pattern. You owe it to them to set a better example of a healthy relationship. If you're just gonna co-parent, do it separate. I'm pretty confused about the fact that you haven't consistently worn your ring the entire time. Yet her doing the same warrants distrust? How exactly are things bad between you two? I honestly don't believe a marriage of 11 plus years suddenly goes bad because you two moved away. What are discussions you often have? What do you discuss with your wife and what does she discuss with you? Do you have any friends or hobbies? Does your wife have any friends or hobbies? Are you and your family-in-law on good terms? Her not wearing her rings sounds like the least of your problems. First, why are you going to bars alone? Take her with you. Make it a proper date. Second, quarterly sex? Really? Take her on a date and treat her the way you probably did before you two were married, when the night ended in sex. Last, if you're really trying to treat her in a way to make her love you, I doubt taking off your ring and going to a bar alone is going to accomplish that. It sounds like you both got too caught up in the routine of everyday life and parenting and lost sight of what actually brought you together. I sometimes don't wear my ring. It was during pregnancy and COVID. Entirely a comfort, practical thing and nothing to do with the state of my marriage. You took yours off because you are feeling insecure about your marriage. That is not the answer. It's time to discuss with your wife your issues instead of making symbolic gestures that are basically fixing nothing. When my husband and I were first married, I worked in a job where I got tipped pretty regularly. I noticed I got way bigger tips if I wore tight pants, and even bigger ones if I accidentally dropped my pen and had to turn around and bend over to pick it up. I was very upfront with my husband about what I was doing and the resulting money, and he thought it was hilarious. My ass was amazing, in all honesty. So we both knew why this was working. He trusted me and knew the money was helping pay the bills and then some. So it wasn't a big deal. Ask your wife if she gets better sales with it off. Whatever her reason, she should have told you when she started it. But having an honest, open conversation now will help. Sounds like you used your wife's decision to not wear a ring as an excuse to hang out in bars, pretending you're single. Not wearing a wedding ring is not really a problem itself. There are a lot of married people who don't wear them because they can be uncomfortable and irritate your fingers. What is the problem though is not wearing them. Going to places where you interact with single people, and then not making it obvious that you are married. For example, you are going to a bar, dude. Married people really have no business in bars to begin with, and you're going in there without a ring on and having drinks with women. I'm a woman. Long before I got married, I had a fake wedding ring I would wear out if I wanted left alone. It made no difference. Once I got married and wore my rings, it made no difference. Honestly, some guys would say, "He's not here," if I pointed them out. Rings on a woman usually make no difference to men who want to flirt. If you trust your wife, let it go. I'm reading a lot of things that point to maybe we're not getting our needs met enough in this relationship. Quarterly sex. FYI, every relationship is different, but clinical literature suggests that less than monthly is a red flag for a relationship's longevity. We moved and I don't have friends anymore. Being hit on is a big deal. These are all bad signs that you're not getting your needs met or feeling unloved. That could be wrong, but these are very common sign for the average person. All that to say that if you feel it rings true, then it's time to have a real vulnerable discussion with your wife about both your needs and how to reconnect. If it doesn't ring true, then don't worry about it. It sounds like you have poor communications between each other. Maybe try making time to talk to your wife. You seem to think a lot of things and not say much of anything. What happened when you had more of a conversation with her about this? Seems like the most logical thing to do before going to strangers online. Wearing the ring means F all. If someone wants to cheat, they will do it with the ring on. or take it last minute before the cheating encounter. Me and my wife only wear the rings on special occasions and can't be bothered otherwise. A piece of metal doesn't define our relationship. Of course. As already seen in your other replies, you have much bigger issues than just your wife not wearing the ring.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.